Now this as City Council votes tonight on whether to reduce the police helicopter fleet. This is just one part of proposed legislation to change how police do their jobs. People have been outspoken about the cost and the noise. 6 on Your Side investigator Tara Morgan with why police say they need what they have on the front line.
When I grew up in North Linden, it was called the ghetto bird because it was the only thing always in the sky.
Birds, choppers, helos, whatever you call them. In Columbus, the police helicopter fleet is a point of contention for some.
There's always that feeling in Columbus's poor neighborhoods that you are being watched.
During recent protests, Joe Motil felt intimidated.
To people that are protesting, sometimes it's very annoying and distracting, and it's like you feel like you're in a war zone almost.
Police say they've gotten by with 5 helicopters since 2017, but say 6 would be optimal. 2 on a flight schedule, 2 backups, and 2 in maintenance.
What we like is predictability. So having more helicopters means when a couple of helicopters are in for maintenance or running up on time, we're able to predict that well in advance and use the entire rotation to supplement those hours, stretch them out further, spread it out, the cost out over time.
This starts with reviewing.
But a proposed ordinance before City Council to restrict how police use their equipment limits the helicopter fleet to 4.
So what we would virtually be doing by legislating down to 4 helicopters is legislating down to 3, because we would have 1 decommissioned for sale.
Earlier this summer, people expressed outrage to City Council, saying there's no need for that many in the fleet and wanting the expense reallocated. Commander Sagal says it all depends on how you look at it and that maintenance is cheaper with a 5th helicopter.
Motil is among the hundreds who wrote letters to Council's Finance Committee or spoke up during its June hearing demanding reform.
The helicopter unit has always been kind of a thorn in my side in terms of how much money they do spend.
Charlotte Top, we're over here
just over $900,000 is the 10-year average annual operating cost for maintenance, fuel, and insurance. In November 2019, City Council approved the $3.4 million purchase of a new Bell helicopter, which police say starts the projected 10-year transition from McDonnell Douglas to Bell. Police say not only is it $300,000 less than the model they have now, but can carry more people and equipment for specialty missions.
Again, it depends on how you look at it. Yes, it's an expensive unit, but it's still such a valuable tool for what it does for the division.
Police say they're supposed to fly 8 patrol missions a day, but they've temporarily modified the flight schedule because of aircraft status and COVID-19. But anytime during scheduled operating hours, there's always 1 ready to go.
Shootings, stabbings, robberies in progress, major crimes in progress.
The helicopter unit averages each year nearly 200 felony arrests, more than 100 misdemeanor arrests, and finding 21 missing people.
The helicopter sees that big picture.
Commander Robert Sagal says they also take the place of cruisers in pursuits, so they're less dangerous.
Well, when it comes to helicopters alone, it's never, none of our equipment's used as an offensive weapon, which is what you think of when you think of militarization.
Pilots hovered over protesters snaking through downtown.
We needed a helicopter to be able to tell us, where violence was occurring, to distinguish between the peaceful crowds and the violent crowds.
Yeah, they're smashing the windows. They're trying to smash the windows on this car.
Police helicopter video captured a June attack on an Uber driver and cancer survivor during demonstrations.
The helicopter helped because it stayed hovered right around the scene, and then the police came and people started scattering.
As for the noise, police say yes, they are noisy.
Tower, Medevac, Monarch 1,
But it's not always us in the air. That at least 8 hospitals in central Ohio accept air ambulances. Motil says the division should start maximizing its resources and free up money that could better serve Columbus communities.
I think by decreasing the helicopter unit from 5 to 4 is not going to result in a less effective helicopter unit.
Tara Morgan, 6 on Your Side.
If you have an issue you would like Tara to look into, just call the On Your Side hotline at 255 News or send her an email, tips@abc6onyourside.com.